All right. Welcome to the Jackalope Club. Welcome in, as we say on our website. I'm Mark.
I'm Ben.
That was good. I was like pitching it over to you and you picked that up.
I caught it.
And basically, the reason why we're starting a podcast is because Ben and I talk all the time. We're playing TCGs all the time. We're talking collections. And because why not? If everyone and your uncle has a podcast, why can't the Jackalope Club? So here we are talking cryptids and kind of whatever else rattles off our mind. You will likely find out that, at least for me, I kind of have non sequiturs and I'll probably say the wrong word a few times, but nobody's nerfed. So that's how we do things here.
I like that.
Yeah. My dad had that shirt when he was younger. He had a shirt that said "Nobody's nerfed," and I saw it when I was like, when I saw it, I was like 10 years old. I'm like, do you still have that shirt? He's like, no. But he wore that shirt into the ground. He was saying. So that was like when, I guess I wasn't 10. I was probably like 12 or so, entering my like punk rock phases, trying to get all like the vintage shirts and everything. And
yeah, I feel like my dad only ever wore like one stylish shirt. At least for like my younger life, he only ever wore like collared shirts, but not like polos or like nice button downs. They were always just like weird flannels. Like that was like,
what makes it weird? What makes a flannel weird?
I don't like, they weren't like normal flannels. Like it would be like a green and brown flannel, but like really small flannel.
Okay.
And that was just, I don't know, that was just his style. And then one day he just like stopped wearing flannels and started wearing graphic tees.
Yeah. He's like, This is me now.
Yeah.
Did he grow a mustache? Has your dad ever like had facial hair and then like decided I'm done with this?
No, but he's always had the same goatee. Like he's always just had like forever. Well, I guess he was either shaved and then he got the goatee, but now I can't picture him without the goatee.
I know. I'm trying to do the same thing. And like the sad thing is like, I'm pretty sure my dad has a goatee, but I couldn't tell you like if it's now a beard, and I just saw him too. I think like because growing up, he always had a goatee, so he could have shaved for all I know, but maybe our brain just plays tricks on us.
Dads and cryptids.
Dads and cryptids. Yes, yeah, exactly. Do you feel like with my kids, like they're asking about kind of like ghosts and ghost stories and things?
Yeah.
My wife, she grew up like, her parents like went hard. They're like, she saw Freddy Krueger movie, things like that. So she's almost like desensitized with it.
Right.
I'm like slowly introducing the things. I want to start with like the fun and paranormal things. I'm leaving out the cute stuff, but I don't know. Like, are your like kiddos into any cryptids or anything?
My daughter, I feel like she's getting desensitized to like spooky stuff, but I feel like that's just because there's so much spooky stuff to watch now. Like when I was growing up, like if you wanted to watch like a spooky movie, you had to go to the Sci-Fi Channel or like have it on DVD.
Yeah.
And my family didn't really watch spooky movies. Like my mom does not like horror movies, and my dad, like, he can stand them, but only if they have a plot. Like he's not just about like slasher movies. He like, I don't know, like Saw, like it had a plot. At least like the first couple, so they were more of like thrillers, I guess, like psychological thrillers. I think are like an easier thing for my parents. But I, as a kid, never really watched scary movies unless they were on TV. And like never went to
like the bad words bleeped out and like all the
all the
R
stuff.
ratings. It was all just kind of like PG-13 bad dubs.
Right, but nowadays, like, I don't know. I feel like there's horror for kids now. So, like, even, like, Netflix has, like, I don't know, like, what is it, like, K-pop Vampire Slayers or something? Where, like, they kind of, like, get desensitized. K-pop
Demon Hunters, yeah.
Yeah, it's, like, so, like, some stuff, like, the spooky stuff really, like, I guess the spooky stuff for me as a kid was, like, Halloween Town. Like, that was, like, the spooky kid stuff. And then, like, that one Disney movie, like, Don't Look Under the Bed with the Boogeyman, like, that one freaked me out.
Yeah.
But, but at the same time, like, yeah, that's really the only like horror and stuff that my kids get into is like the horror that's made for kids, and they haven't, like, she wanted to watch like Five Nights at Freddy's, and I was like, heck no.
That's scary. What about you? Like, what are your horror and like at this age now? No kids in the room.
I don't think that I put on horror like to watch unless it's like I guess psychological thriller kind of horror. I guess like I'm not all about like the new. Like the reboots of like Friday the 13th and stuff. That's just, I don't know. That stuff never really like was my jam, I guess.
I'm with you. Like I love horror, but I'm less gore. If there's gore in it, look, I'm game. But like my favorite is The Thing. Have you seen that?
I have, yeah.
It's awesome. Like, I think when it's like horror and paranoia, that's when I'm like, I'm in. Like, it's so good where people are just kind of like doubting themselves and they're going mad. That's where, put that on and it's really good. Like 1408 is really good with John Cusack. It's an oldie, but a goodie. I guess considered an oldie now.
Yeah.
But if it's just like straight up gore, I remember seeing Hostel in the movie theater a long time ago. And I was like, what's the point? Like, this is just like gnarly. And I didn't walk away going like clutching my pearls, like, ooh, no. It's just like, oh man, I could have seen something a little bit different. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I need something to get me going.
I saw that on the Sci-Fi Channel, so I saw like the censored version. And even I was like, ooh, like, I don't know.
I saw it in the theater and I was like, didn't need to see that. Did they, in the censored version,
with the Achilles?
Did they have the part? I was gonna say that's funny. We thought the same thing. Like I hated that. I hated it so much.
They showed that on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I did not like that because that was something I didn't know could happen. So seeing it, I was like, I don't like that.
Turn it off. Well, we had commercials growing up, so like we're a little bit of a different age. Like not too much, but did you have? Well, you were watching the Sci-Fi Channel.
I grew up on cable. Yeah, we didn't like. The world didn't really switch digital until I was already like in college. So like all through high school, like we watched cable and like watched sports on like the local station. We didn't have like Netflix was like DVDs. So,
yeah. Now everything's streaming, but hey, I'm all for it. Like Shudder. So like Halloween's coming up. I don't know when this is gonna come out. Like we're pretty good at editing. Maybe it comes out tomorrow. Probably not. But Halloween. So right now it's almost September, and then Halloween's coming up. I usually do. It's probably bad. Don't comment below. Like, so Shudder has like free, you get like it for like a week, and I'll just basically have like a different credit card and a different email. So like Shudder, I'll get it for 7 days, but then I'll pretty much make it last for like the month of October. Nice. And I'll watch like all these different things. I'm hoping Toxic Avenger is on Shudder, even though it's in theaters now. But do you ever see the original Toxic Avenger?
I don't think so.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've keep seeing stories about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Well, it may not be good. It's gonna be so bad that it's good. So, are you like as far as like cryptids and such? Like, kind of people ask like, oh, who's your favorite cryptid? Which is always like kind of what I get asked sometimes. But I think I'm more of like, well, first thought is like I think aliens like is what really got me hooked. But also, like, if the very first kind of like book and intro I had were like ghosts, and of course, like, Bloody Mary and such. Yeah. So like that always makes me think of like Halloween makes me think of like ghosts and such. Like, what's your kind of like go-to genre of cryptids?
Bigfoot. Right away, Bigfoot. Yeah, I think that like. Yeah, because to me, like Bigfoot is like one of the most crazy because like if there really was a Bigfoot, somebody would have seen him by now. But it's also like the most plausible. Like. It's outlandish to think that there is a Bigfoot walking around, but at the same time, if you really like try and connect the dots on the fact that like maybe there's some like descendant of a big monkey that just lives in like the really thick forest, because like the forest in the northwest of America is like you cannot see through it like with radar. It's so thick.
Aren't there like this is where I'm going to say the wrong word. Like I was going to say unattached, like places that have never been explored, like in the Pacific Northwest, right? Yeah. Is that
because they're just impenetrable unless you're on foot? And I mean, I'm maybe not unexplored, but potentially unexplored, depending on like the escalation and like. I mean, if it's like a mountainous forest that you have to go through by foot and you like can't get climbing gear in because it's like the trees are so thick, then yeah. But a Bigfoot might know how to get around in there.
You think there's a Bigfoot like just jabbing around trees and just like living his life? And
maybe he just like knows the path. I don't know. I think again, it's the most crazy, but the most plausible. Like I would believe in Bigfoot more than like maybe the Loch Ness monster. But no, that's like anything in the ocean. I'm like
I was obsessed with the Loch Ness monster. That was like it has because I think that you said it too. Like. We're talking ocean here, guys. Like, and this is, of course, before like these major sonars. Like, it's pretty much been debunked, but there are a ton of like tunnels and such in there. And I'm thinking, like, maybe it's not as big as we think.
Ocean all the time. Like, they just found like
the
10
deeper
new
we
kinds
go,
of sharks.
the deeper we go, the more stuff we find. I'm like, maybe it's not Nessie, but there's probably something else going on down there. Yeah. My wife's convinced that there's aliens down there. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you.
That's where I would be if I was them, because I mean, we can see space. You know, we can look around and see if they're up there. We've only seen like 30% of the ocean we've mapped or something. Like that's
sure. Let's just throw random facts out there. 30%. That sounds
I heard
good.
it on Facebook.
Yeah. That's funny. You just explained like the giant like made you look for aliens. Like we're all up the sky, and he's like, made you look. We're all down here.
It's perfect. Right. I mean, like I do know that like most of like, have you heard like the Tic Tac, like with like the USS
like
Nimitz.
the UFO thing?
It's called the Tic Tac Flirt. It's the one that made it like to Congress, and they like in the video like goes in and out of the water. So if they did have like UFOs that turned into USOs, that'd be crazy.
I always find it funny when like those videos for Congress and such, they're just like, I'm like, I just want to be like, hey, you guys know, like they have to do this whole show of like, well, that is interesting. And like, they have to do this, provide this evidence. And
they're all watching the little dot.
Yeah. They're like,
there it is.
It's like, oh, that's interesting. It's like, you guys know exactly what's going on. This is just a show. But I guess now we're getting into conspiracy theories, but that's like what's fun about like cryptids is you can kind of like go down that rabbit hole and then convince yourself. Like I'm really good with that with like ghosts. I could be anywhere dark and alone and be like, oh, I'm for sure being watched. This is what's going on. Like, I swear before I heard about Fresno night crawlers, I was at a cabin as a kid. You ever go to a cabin? It's just like an off vibe. It's like, something's going on here. And maybe it was just being in the woods and it wasn't like a bougie cabin. It was definitely like, might as well have been a tent. And I'm going to sleep and I swear I saw these glowing pants. But then looking back, I woke up because before I went to bed, and this is probably the logical solution, is there's a Dr. Seuss book. I don't know what it's called, of like where like pants go running and he chases his pants. So I'm sure that as a 6-year-old, that was just the connection.
Right.
But I can see it clear as day, like these glowing pants, like running around. Maybe that's it. They're just like going on vacation in Arizona. I mean, Arizona's right next to Fresno. So maybe that's it. There's got to be something of the hundreds of cryptids and stories. There's got to be like something like real going on. Like
statistically, right? At least one.
Yeah.
Probably that's most of them.
Yeah. For a bit, I was like, well, there's got to be lizard people. Not like like underground or anything. Like I was like, well, there's got to be someone out there, someone that I've met, someone in the streets of New York or something has a lizard under their mask. But like, probably not. But like, why not live your life in like having fun doing that than being like, no. Like,
right.
Well, you can't say that.
You can't say no. Like, no. You can't prove no.
Yeah. Yes, so let's just talk about lizard people. Like, it's exactly like, have you seen like huge CEOs talk? I'm like, you're not real. Like, like I'm getting all these again, like crazy conspiracies, but it's like, they'll talk and it's like, okay, who are you? Is that the person that you go home and you talk like that? Right. Like at the dinner table?
I like the conspiracy videos where they like take like a satellite video feed of like the rich people talking and it'll like glitch just because it's like got bad signal. And they're like, look, lizard person, just because like their face like kind of distorts. I haven't seen those.
Now the algorithm's just going to be showing me all these like things like, oh yeah, you like that? Cool. Well, you were, if you don't mind me sharing, you were in the Navy, is that right?
I was, yeah.
So like, I'm always fascinated with like Navy or like, do you guys have ghost stories on the ship? I just feel like in every scenario, because maybe I bring up ghost stories and cryptids wherever I go, I feel like I'm like, oh, what kind of stories are they saying? So like, were there like spooky stories or any kind of lore on these ships?
Yeah, so like one of the ships that I worked on was the USS Nimitz, which was an aircraft carrier that I think was built in like 1960 something, like 65, 67. I'll Google it and then I'll put it right there.
Put it, Are you good with graphics? Just have like graphics popping up everywhere?
Yeah, cool. All the time. Cool. I'm gonna put all 4 of those. But yeah, like, you know, because so many like generations of crews had gone through these ships, like there was always like, you know, the stories of like the engineman who fell into the engine, or like the guy who fell down the staircase and like people still hear him. And there's one that was like, I think it was one officer who like everyone hated back in like the 80s who like fell overboard and they never heard from him again. But he was like a huge smoker, and like sometimes at night they would like hear somebody walking on the smoke deck, but like no one was there. And that was like one of the cool ones. Yeah. And it was mainly just the older ships. Like the other ships I was on were like pretty new, so they didn't really have ghost stories yet.
Were these like real people? Were they like, hey, Frank Dershowitz? Like they had the name of the person, or it was
they
like
always
long
had a
ago?
name. No,
Okay, all right.
they were always like, yo, like, because it was always the older guys who were telling it, like the people who like looked like they had been there for a long time, or people who had been in the Navy for a long time. Like they were always the ones like telling the stories, or you just like hear it by word of mouth through like a friend who like you'd walk past an area that like is like maybe like roped off that you never really went to and never seen down, and then somebody would have a story for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were talking when I was like the old guys, what are they called? Like not lieutenants. Again, this is wrong. Like what's like a higher ranked officer?
Well, so like it kind of actually like the enlisted guys is there's like enlisted and then officer. So the enlisted guys, like you don't need to have a college degree to be enlisted, and you go from E1 to E9. So like the highest rank is Master Chief, and then officers go from O1 to like I think like O12 or something, and that goes from like lieutenant to like 4-star admiral or something. But like so like the older guys who actually like did the work and like were the service were like the chiefs and the senior chiefs and the master chiefs. And those were always like the guys who started as just like, like some dumb 18-year-old, and now they're like the masters of their job, but they're just old and salty. So it was always like the master chiefs, and they're always smoking. That's all they did.
It'd be so great if they ended the story like, and it was me, and like ripped off their face. Like, wow.
They're just a ghost and they fly away.
And they get back to work. Go back to war.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't be at sea that long. I think my brain would that's where the paranoia would start coming in. Like, what's below me? What's above me? And then also like, what's going on the ship? Who else is going to go mad? I have these thoughts a lot, I'm sure I should probably go see someone, but like, I like to live in the world of play. Like, all right, like instead of just being like, hello, I'm on a ship. That sounds really, really boring to me. Yeah, like I kind of be like, what would happen if everyone went mad on this ship? So
that makes sense.
Was there madness on ships? Was that like, what do you call that? Like, is there a code? Like, oh, we got another D4.
No, there is a brig on every ship though, like an area where you lock someone if they like go crazy. But
it's honestly, called a brig.
Yeah, but honestly, like ship life nowadays, it's pretty nice. Like the bigger the ship, the nicer. It's like aircraft carriers have like Starbucks in them. Like it's just a floating city. But like then the ship that I was on, it was like a newer like high tech ship, and we had like DirecTV and like an area where we would just like watch movies, and then we had like one of the chiefs had made like a Raspberry Pi, but he put like 1,000 movies on it. So like even when we like were somewhere where we didn't have signal, we could just like watch like over 1,000 movies. So like whenever you would go and eat, there was always a movie playing.
Okay.
And then honestly, like we got through a lot of it with like board games and TCGs. Like because you'd get out. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was saying you get out in like the middle of the ocean where there's nothing around you but water. Like every direction, just water, and you kind of just got to figure something out. So we would just play a lot of card games and board games.
How is it like introduced? Does someone have it in their duffel bag? Like, hey, I have my Magic deck, and it's just that I feel like someone else would have to be like, I have my deck too, or like, how does it get on the ship? And
in a couple different ways. So like some of it's like that. Yeah, like I remember like when I learned Keyforge. It was just this guy who he brought like 4 Keyforge decks, and he's like, I really like this game. I want you guys to play this game with me. And he taught us, and then we just all played with his 4 decks for like a year until we all bought our own. But then there were also like care packages that got sent aboard from like the USO and stuff. And that's where we would get like movies that were like currently in theaters. We would get like a special DVD that we could like only use on like our coded DVD player and watch them, which was cool. But board games and card games and people's like Magic Bulk and random stuff would just show up in those boxes, and we just like use what we had.
Like from USO? Is that what you said? Like USO? So it wouldn't be like back home. It would be like USO care.
Yeah.
Gathering in bulk.
Yeah, it would be like movies, books, magazines, cards, board games, like all kinds of random stuff that people donated.
All like the really expensive cards. They're like, we're not gonna.
Yeah, no, it was just
a bunch of bulk. Yeah. Do you collect anything other than like TCGs?
I feel like I collect all kinds of things. I feel like I'm just like an in the moment collector of like, oh, I like this thing, and then like reason like Labubus, right? Like. I liked Labubus. I got the full set of Labubus in the secret, and now I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but I don't feel like an inherent need to collect more Labubus now that I got like the thing that I liked.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of little collections like that are just like,
dude, you got me the Labubus. I was like, these are crazy. And then I got one hanging there, and then I got this. Well, I actually have two for my daughters, and then I was like, well, he needs sunglasses. So I feel like
it gets bright out.
So, but it kind of goes back to like, it's fun. Like, who's, it's I should probably spend $35 on something else, but it was fun.
Yeah.
But do you ever? I kind of have those little mini collections too, and then you ever find it like you just wake up and be like, okay, I'm done with that collection, and then you kind of just see, like, I go in waves of figures. Like, I'll be like, oh, I really want these figures, and I really want this, and then I'll try to find like Japanese vinyl figures, and then I kind of have a limit because you can get super, super expensive, but then I'll stop, and then I'll seriously, like, I guess I'm like easily inspired, or probably not manipulated, probably, of like, I'll watch like a Froggy Flips video. I'm like, that's a cool thing, and then I'll go to like, we have some pretty cool local shops, and I'll like look at some kind of like vintage figures, toys. I'm not afraid to call them toys, because I play with my stuff. I don't have anything. I'm not a sealed collector. I have like slabs just because I like the card. I want it around for a while, but I put my figures in like different positions and things like that. So
heck yeah, in my brain, it's a display. You know what I mean? Like,
like you can't see it here, but we got like Skeletor battling monsters pocket. Like, that's so much cooler than just be like, it's box. It's a box. So,
I agreed completely. Especially with figures, I have like a pretty extensive collection of Warcraft figures, because I've just been like a Warcraft nerd forever, and my dad's been a Warcraft nerd. But at my last house, when I used to have like a pretty big display with all my stuff behind me, and it was just like a battle scene set up between all the figures, and I loved it.
Yeah, and it's great. Like, when my kids come to my office, they're like, "Can we play with them?" I'm like, go play with them, because like, I don't want to be that person that's like, don't touch. I mean, there's some stuff on the higher shelf and such, but like the figures go nuts, So
we had Elf on the Shelf one year, and we had like all of my figures like had the elf like hung upside down, like wrapped around its body, and like all of my like the orcs were like holding it up, interrogating it.
That sounds fun. Do you do? I was at my LGS last night, and they're playing D&D, and I was talking to shout out to Layered Worlds. And I was like, oh man, like, I feel like that would be just like a new obsession for me. Yeah. And then he told me like, oh, go to D&D Beyond. It's an app, I guess. And dude, I made a character. I got so into it. And then I was going to get written into a campaign, and he was saying, he's like, it's about 4 hours, like a session. I don't think he probably called it the right term. Like, that sounds amazing. And also like, it's a commitment. Mm-hmm. Like, right away, I'm like, that sounds amazing. But then I'm also afraid of getting obsessed with collection, because even just making my character and like naming him and his abilities, and then like looking at different like books online and like how to be a dungeon master. It's like, I'm not ready there. I haven't even rolled a dice at all, and I'm like already obsessed. And I was like, what figures can I get? What can I paint? So, have you done D&D before?
I have. Yeah. Like, sure. Like, I want to say like 3 months before I joined the Navy, I worked at a grocery store, and there was this guy that I had like played Yu-Gi-Oh with a few times, and he was like, "Have you ever played D&D?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, I had like messed around with it because my dad was super into it when I was younger. We did like, I think my dad like tried to get us into it as kids, but like at least taught us the mechanics of it. So I knew how to play, but I'd never like played a campaign as an adult. So I went to that guy's house, and for like 3 months every Wednesday we played a campaign before I joined the Navy. And I had some of the most fun I've ever had with like a room full of strangers. And we would play from like 4 p.m. until like 3 a.m. the next day. Yeah. And like we would like be telling ourselves that we had to stop because we didn't want to. And I never thought that I would experience that with something that like was not a video game.
I want to do it but then it's like when you kind of have like kids and family and work the next morning, because it's like the next one's like on a Thursday from 7 to 11 p.m. and he lives about like 30 minutes away. I'm like, all right, so I'd be driving. We're not going to end right at 11 o'clock, but I know I'll be like flying home, like super like happy and high that I probably not want to sleep too, because we're just saying like all these scenarios and it gets to go play for 4 hours. That sounds awesome. So basically what I'm telling myself, and we're putting on records, I'm going to go play D&D on September 18th, and I'll let you know how it goes.
I'm very excited to hear about it.
I'm like, roll some dice and all right. Do you say dice or die?
I think I say dice. I don't think I ever say die.
It sounds like strange, and then people are like, it's actually die. I'm like, well, no.
Like, yeah, because even when I'm saying like we're gonna roll, I usually just name the dice. Like I'll say, oh, let's roll a d20. Like, okay, let's roll a d6. Or I'll say, I don't even for d6. I usually just say dice. Like in my brain, d6 is dice.
Right. Everything's dice. I don't say like die or anything. So, all right, sir. We're going to kind of wrap this up because I feel like we can be talking for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm excited to, it's actually in like 3 weeks, we'll do the D&D. So now we have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Sounds like we'll have an episode 2.
I'm excited to hear about it.
Is there anything that you wanted to tell the listeners, the viewers, the commenters, the haters, the lovers, the whatever?
Not too much. I'll be at Atlanta Collecticon in 2 weeks now, September 12th and 13th.
What if someone sees this 5 years from now and they show up there? They're looking for you.
That'd be, honestly, I think I'll be there. I'm going to put that on my calendar at this point.
You have to show up every single
September 12th and 13th.
Yeah.
Even if there's no Collecticon.
You said you were there. You lied to me.
Just look for the Jackalope Club banner. It'll be by the entrance. I won't be allowed in, but I'll be at the door.
You'll just be there, like one of those like little things outside.
One of those like hot dog stands that folds out.
Yeah, they'll be like, that guy's got it made. He didn't pay the huge entry fee. Let's go hang out with him.
He's got booster boxes and Labubu's.
Yeah. Labubu's have dust on them. They're like 4 cents. It's a secret, though. It's a secret.
They found a bunch of those in a warehouse.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Well, go to the jackalopeclub.com. For all this, we did the discount. If you do code podcasts at checkout, you get 10% off everything. Remember that with each booster box you purchase, you will be entered in a chance to do the alt box, which Ben, you've done a nice little grid. I think we should probably do a video on that to show the alt boxes that we have. And the current alt box is Jet Yates, so it looks amazing. And I'm really excited about that. So theJackalopeclub.com, 10% off. Be sure to follow us on all the socials. Comment below. I don't know, your favorite cryptid or anything you received through USO. Just comment below. Let us know that you made it. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And I wish we had a really cool sign off, but we don't. So for next, we need intro music and a cool sign off. So maybe in the comment below, let us know a sign off. For now, I'll just bye.
Bye.
I don't know. Bye.
Later.